Hey guys, what's up? Perfect Welch here, and today I want to do a little rant on the PS1 Classic. And, it's just very disappointing. When it was first announced, people were like, oh yeah, this is exciting. Like, Sony's finally entering the classic market like Nintendo's been doing. Let's see how this pans out. And it's a disappointment. It's bad, actually. Disappointment's too kind. Bad is too kind, too, of words to use, It's just awful. It's terrible. It's horrible. But why is it? I mean, okay, obviously, you got your games like Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid. Good games, obvious games put on the PS1, very iconic, helped made the console. The two games that defined the console, honestly. But then, what else do you have? Like, you got all these titles, like all these very obscure, very niche, just very horrible titles that nobody remembers. And like, for a top 20 game selection, that's not really good. And there's some games you'll ask, why did they choose this over the other? Like, we have Resident Evil, but no Resident Evil 2, when 2 is, one, the much better game, and 2 has a remake coming out. So why not choose that instead to kind of capitalize off the success of that? Or the hype of that, I mean, because that game hasn't came out yet. Or Tekken, like, they only chose Tekken 1. If you're going to choose one of the original Tekken games on PlayStation, why not 3? That's the one people talk about when they talk about Tekken games of the PS1 era. And also, some games, like, it's only 20 here in the US, but the Japan version has more games. And some that are exclusive, like Parasite Eve. Yeah, they were fucking racist when they were making this shit. Like, people want to complain about one of Mr. Game & Watch's moves that's in Super Smash Brothers. Like, oh, it's racist, it's offensive to Indian people, how dare they, blah, blah, blah. Like, people want to say that, yet Sony makes games, some titles only on the PlayStation, on the Japan version of PS1 Classic, they keep it there. And they get a free pass? Like, oh, this is great. No, this is fucking racist, and they should be called out for it. But other than that, why else does it suck? 20 games! 20 games! Now, I would understand maybe 30, but 20? Like, 20 games? And it's all only for $100? $100 for 20 games. Keep that in mind. That means you're paying $5 for each game, because 5 times 20, that's 100. And, like, seriously? And most of these games aren't even that good, or aren't even worth it? And there's some titles that are missing, like, there's no Crash Bandicoot game, no Spyro game, no Tomb Raider game, and many others. Now, some may say, oh, well, but, we had remasters of Crash and Spyro and Tomb Raider, or at least new games, But here's the thing. They are so iconic to the PS1, it's like not having Crash on the PS1 Classic is like not having one of the original Super Mario Brothers games on a Nintendo Classic, or not having one of the original Donkey Kong games on a Super Nintendo Classic, or not having one of the original Sonic games on the Sega Genesis Classic. That doesn't matter when they're so important to the console's history. Crash was the Mario, the Sonic of the PS1. Spyro was a very close second. And Tomb Raider is a very important, iconic series to it, and Lara Croft is one of the most iconic women in gaming, along with Samus Aran. So, missing titles, overpriced, minimum amount of games, majority that aren't even good, and some games are locked in Japan. How did you screw this up, Sony? How did you screw this up? Hopefully, if a PS2 classic comes around, which probably won't, because this will bomb, but if it does come around, hopefully, Sony learns their mistakes.